Hello folks, and welcome to the Vertigo Tea Party and the August update for 2017. As usual, I'll cover the important stuff before the 5-minute mark, and after that I'll let you know, and you can drop out if you don't really care about the bad blathering afterwards. The question I would like for you to answer in today's comment: if you watch streams, what kind of content would you like to see me doing for the channel as far as streamers? Or streaming? Would you like to see city builders, survival games, MMOs? Would you prefer streams be for older games, for RPGs, indies, new games? Let me know what you think. Again, if you watch streams, what type of games would you prefer that I play on those versus the ones that I do completely solo for the channel? Now, as far as coming up, I am working on a stream schedule now. This month at least, what I want to do is streams on Thursdays and Sundays. Thursdays looking at around 7:30 to 8 o'clock to start, ending around 11 to midnight. And on Sundays, stream starting anywhere from around 3 o'clock-ish until 11-ish to midnight. Maybe shorter depending on what I need to do, what I need to record, but somewhere in that range. Streaming will be under flux. What I mean by that is, first of all, the schedule is probably going to change from time to time, just to kind of see if people can make certain streams more than others. For example, if I find Tuesdays and Saturdays are better stream nights, I might switch to that. So I'm going to kind of experiment. Another thing I'm going to mess with, and I'll talk about this after the 5-minute mark, so you can stick around if you want to hear it. But one thing I want to look at is, I hate streams where there's, buzzing and all this crap going off, the streamer is constantly getting distracted, etc. So I'm going to be messing with different things as far as that goes, so that I can keep my streams focused primarily on the game while also still acknowledging follows, subscriptions, things of that nature. So I will be messing with that, so you'll expect to see a lot of change as far as that goes. As far as new games coming this month, Hellblade comes out next day or two. That looks very interesting. It's an action game, but it's supposed to be more based on story. It's supposed to be fairly short, so it shouldn't take too long to do. Maybe Agents of Mayhem. I love Saints Row, but honestly, what I've seen of gameplay videos for Agents of Mayhem, I wasn't overly impressed. I might wait and see what people think of that one before I pick it up, but maybe Agents of Mayhem. As far as what is going to continue, well, actually, there's nothing that's continuing on through the whole month, I don't think. But what is going to be ending sh continuing this month is Albion Online. I know I haven't uploaded any videos. I want to do a few more Albion Onlines, not a whole bunch more. So I want to cover like the private islands and a little bit more of the crafting and combat, and maybe a little bit of the areas where you can PvP a little bit. Other than that, we're about done with Albion Online. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance will be ending this month. Kingdoms and Castles, there's about 3 more videos from what you've seen going up for Kingdoms and Castles. I'm looking to start a new short series after Hellblade. If I don't play Agents of Mayhem, I'll think of some other short-ish stream. So that's what's coming this month. So basically, this month is going to be more Kings and Castles, Metal Gear Rising. I do plan to do more streaming of Citadel. I don't know if I'm going to do that whole month. I don't know if I'm going to do that every stream. But I am going to do at least one more fairly longish stream of Citadel. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying that series as well. But that's what's coming this month. There probably will be another game. Again, if Agents of Mayhem ends up being kind of meh, there might be a surprise game coming this month I haven't decided on yet. But yeah, in the comments below, like I say, definitely let me know what games you'd like to see me stream. Again, if you like to watch streams. If you don't like to watch streams, that's fine. You don't really need to mention anything specific. But that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. That's the important stuff. I am going to ramble a little bit, primarily about how I want to run the streams and how I want to experiment with the streams going forward. So if you're not going to miss anything important. So if you want to drop out, go ahead and do so. I appreciate you doing so, and make sure to answer the question in the comments below. All right, so as far as the streaming goes, like I mentioned, all I want to say is expect a lot of changes going on, because I hate watching a stream. And I've even had streamers that I really like, I can't stand to watch anymore, because every 30 to 60 seconds it's, oh hey, thanks to Joe X Reefer 420 for the 12-month subscription. Oh, thank you so much. And he says blah blah blah. Then go back to the playing the game, and then 15 seconds later, oh hey, thanks, Joanna DeBell for another subscription and 200 bits. You get what I mean. Like that it just goes on and on and on, and like they're constantly distracted reading the chat messages that pop up, things like that. I'm all about interacting with chat. That's one thing. But stopping the game to read off bits and donations and all that, I hate it. So I don't want to become that. I want my stream to still be focused primarily on the stream. I want to keep distractions to a minimal. So I've tried to think of a few ways to do that. One, I wanted to think of games that tend to lend themselves to streaming a bit more, where being distracted isn't a big deal, or more distractions isn't like necessarily a negative thing. Games like Citadel, survival games, where a lot of times you're kind of doing monotonous stuff, where you're gathering resources or running back to base to drop your stuff off, or running back to get your corpse, your stuff that you dropped when you died. So there's a lot more like downtime in those types of games. You're not missing story, things of that nature. You're not lacking progress. Somebody's not just standing there reading stuff off. Can be harvesting wood and whatnot. So that's one approach, is to play the games that tend to favor streaming more. Another thing is to not call off subscribers and bits and donations and all of that as they go off, but instead every 30 minutes, every 60 minutes, then read off all of them at once, right? So those parts you could like cut out for, say, YouTube. And when you throw it on YouTube, you could cut all that part out. Also, it would give folks who are watching the stream, they could get up. If they don't want to hear all the donations and stuff, they can get up, go to the restroom, get a drink, whatever, and then come back and know that we're ready to hop right back into the game with no interruptions until, the next 30 minutes or next 60 minutes or whatever. Now, obviously, I'm well aware that this is not a big problem for the channel right now. I'm not getting that many bits and subscribers that it's becoming a problem, so I definitely don't have a problem reading them off now, but at the same time, I don't want to set a precedent and then change it, right? I don't want to start reading them off all the time and then suddenly go, okay, well, we're going to do it totally different now because I'm getting too many bits. I want to, from early on, I want to have a method of doing it. And again, we're going to experiment. I'm going to try different things. Some way I might like, some things I might hate. I might try some stuff that sounds terrible just to kind of see how it works. So keep that in mind, and I definitely want your feedback, and that's a big part of this, right? Is that there's a certain method or something you don't like or that you do like, make sure to let me know, because keep in mind, a lot of people tend to talk about or give feedback on things they don't like. They don't tend to say, hey, I like this and this. I like that you wait every 30 minutes, or hey, I like the way that, I don't know, that you more subtly give thanks for bits and then move on quickly or whatever. Because if you don't, and the person changes it because all they hear is negative feedback from that certain method, now you're like, oh, hey, why did you change that? I liked it. Well, it's like, well, you never told the person that you liked it. So they only heard negative, so they changed it. So keep that in mind. I want to hear the positive and negatives. Things like I've got the chat, the Twitch chat in the stream now. I also have the kitty cam on most of the time. Just because I find the kitty cam amusing, because all she does is sleep. Pretty much 90% of kitty cam is her sleeping in her bed, and she knows she's adorable, and we all know that she's adorable. But at the same time, it's kind of distracting from the game a little bit. She's not very active, so it doesn't distract a whole lot, and I try to keep it small. But that plus the chat is taking up screen space as well. I really like the Twitch chat. I know that some people are like violently against Twitch chat in the window. Again, that's kind of where I want to find a happy medium, because I feel like Twitch chat is good to have, because if I'm sitting there responding to somebody in chat and you don't see the chat, you don't know what I'm responding to. I have to respond to everything in complete sentences. So if somebody says, oh, how long have you been streaming? I need to say, oh, I have been streaming for 2 hours, or what build are you going for? And you know what I mean. You get the idea. I don't need to belabor my point. I'd rather just Twitch chat be there. one way to kind of help it not being the way, and again, some people like this, some people really don't like this, is to shrink the screen so that the chat and the kitty cam or whatever else you have aren't overlapping on the video of the game. But of course, the problem with that is the game screen itself is a little bit smaller. So I mean, and that can be played with as far as the size goes. So that's something I probably will try at some point. In fact, I did try it for one stream, I think. And I gotta say, I kind of like it because I can make the Twitch stream longer. I can have other stuff along the borders that the game isn't taking up. And again, if I don't overdo it, there's still plenty of screen to see the video. The problem though is if you're watching it on a small screen, like say a phone, you're already taking your very limited space and removing it for Twitch chat that you can't even read. So these are little things I'm trying to keep in mind. Again, I want your feedback as we try different things. And I meant to mention this before. The game that's going on in the background is Online, is Avon Colony. I will probably do a let's try for this. Probably not a full series, but at the very least, I want to do a let's try for it. It's a city builder. I meant to mention that during the beginning, but oh well. I'll put a link in the description of the video, by the way. But that's pretty much it. I just wanted to let you guys know that I will be mixing it up with the Twitch stream stuff. So you do expect a lot of changes. Do give me feedback, both positive and negatives, the elements that you like, the elements that you don't like, things like that, because that all is going to go into helping me make a decision long term how I want to do the stream. But the goal for the stream is to be focused on the game. That doesn't mean I ignore Twitch chat, because that's part of the fun, is interacting with chat. But at the same time, I find so many streamers that I just can't stand to watch that are like 50% chat, 50% game, or worse. And I'm like, I'm not coming here to watch you just like one person in an IRC chat room, or one person versus an IRC chat room. I want to see the game with some, back and forth with the chat, but I want you to focus on the game. And when streamers get away from that, I can't stand to watch them anymore. And so I don't want to be one of those either. And I also am fully understanding that that's not what's hot right now. That's not what's popular. The popular streamers, or a lot of them, are focused on the streamer itself, and all these crazy flashing lights and noises and animated GIFs and media share and all this other stuff when people to get people to donate more. And it's a lot more about interactivity with the chat and all that. So I get that, and that's fine, but that's not what I want to do. It's not. I would rather focus primarily on the game. Again, that doesn't mean I don't acknowledge donations and subs, and it definitely doesn't mean I don't acknowledge the chat. Even if they took away, if they took away subs and tips and all of that crap, I'd still talk to Twitch chat, because again, that's kind of the point. But anyway, again, belabored it too long. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Again, the question was, if you do like to watch the streams, what type of games you'd like to see me stream, as opposed to do video, because obviously I'm not stopping YouTube videos. And I just feel, especially story-heavy games, especially newer ones like Mass Effect, Dragon Age Origins, things like that, I think those I feel are better for YouTube. That way we can focus on cutscenes and things like that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.